السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Respected ones in Islam, we welcome you to the 8th section, which is going to be the final section of our class on the book الإنصاف في مسألة الجمع بين الصلاتين. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us tawfiq in whatever we shall be learning today. Today is the night of Wednesday, which is the 23rd of Sha'ban, 1447 years after the migration of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from Mecca to Medina, which coincides with the 10th of February 2026 according to the Gregorian calendar. In our last class, we stopped at page number 29. We are also going to continue from the same page, where the author, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to preserve him as well as each and every one of us upon the deen of al-Islam and upon the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, said, Al-Qa'idatu al-Sadisa, the sixth principle among the principles of the matters that are connected to combining two prayers. The author said, Al-A'adharu al-Mubihatu lil-Jam'i bayna as-Salatayn ala qismayn. The excuses that permit the combination of two prayers are of two categories. وَهُمَا الْعُذْرُ الشَّخْصِيُّ وَالْعُذْرُ النَّوْعِيُّ. They are personal excuses and general what? Excuses. Are we together? They are personal excuse and general excuse. إذا كان العذر المبيح للجمع شخصيا إذا كان العذر المبيح للجمع شخصيا. Please correct it. It's not جمعي. It's جمعي. It's عين not ح. الأعذار المبيحة للجمع بين الصلاتين على قسمين. The excuses that permit combining two prayers are of two categories. وَهُمَا, and they are الْعُذْرُ الشَّخْصِي, personal excuse, وَالْعُذْرُ النَّوْعِي, and what? General excuse. إِذَا كَانَ الْعُذْرُ الْمُبِيحُ لِلْجَمْعِ شَخْصِيًّا. If the excuse for combining two prayers is a personal one, فَفَلَا يَحْتَاجُ إِلَى جَمَاعَةٍ. It does not need what? Congregation. Are we getting the concept? A person that is sick, you know, you can combine prayer. This excuse, is it a general one or a personal one? It's a personal one, so he does not need another sick person to join him before he can combine prayer. Do you understand? He does not also need anybody to join him before he can combine what? Prayer. Because the reason why he is combining prayer here is a personal what? Reason. So إذا كان العذر المبيح للجمع شخصيا فلا يحتاج إلى ماذا؟ جماعة. If the reason that permits combining prayer is a personal one, so فلا يحتاج إلى الجماعة. It does not need congregation. وإذا كان نوعيا, but if it is a general word reason, so فلا بد فيه من جماعة. There must be what? Congregation. General reason like what? General excuse like what? Rain. So that means me and you, or only you now cannot combine what? Prayer. Why? Because the reason for combining prayer is a general one. So there must be what? Jama'ah. Is it clear? Jayyid. العذر الشخصي يجوز فيه الجمع تقديما وتأخيرا. Personal excuse. It is permissible in personal excuse to combine prayer whether by advancement or by what? By delay. A person is sick. He wants to combine Zuhr and Asr. He can bring Asr to Zuhr time. He can also take Zuhr to where? Asr time. If he brings Asr to Zuhr time, he has done what? Combination by advancement. If he takes Zuhr to Asr time, he has done what? Combination by what? Advancement. Are we getting the concept? So he has this permission. The Sharia has given him this permission. والعذر النوعي لا يجوز فيه الجمع إلا تقديما لا تأخيرا. And general excuse, it is not permissible in it to combine prayer except by advancement, not by what? By delay. I don't want everybody to what? To go back home. And they want people at home not to come to the masjid. Because of what? The stress. I hope you understand. So general excuse, the combination is by advancement. You don't delay. You don't say now, it is rain, you say let's delay Maghrib to where? To Isha. La. القاعدة السابعة. The seventh principle, إباحة الجمع بين الصلاتين في العذر النوعي للمحافظة على الجماعة. It's very important we take note of this. The permissibility of combining two prayers في العذر النوعي based on general excuse للمحافظة على الجماعة is to preserve what? جماعة. And that's why they said if it is raining, we can combine what? Maghrib and Isha. Because if people go back home, they might not be able to what? To come again, and the Jama'ah will not be what? Achieved. Do we understand the concept? So if you understand this concept, you now know that if you are the only one in the masjid, you are not supposed to combine what? Prayer. Al-Qa'idatu Thamina, the eighth principle, Al-Hifadhu ala al-Jama'ah, Muqaddamun ala al-Hifadh ala al-Waqt. To preserve Jama'ah takes precedence over preserving what? The time. And that's why they say what? We should combine the prayer before the time of the what? The next prayer. Because of what? Jama'ah. It's referring to عذر النوعي. في الجمع للعذر ماذا؟ النوعي. On the combination that is based on the combination of prayer that is based on what? General excuse. القاعدة التاسعة كل عذر معتبر شرعا كل عذر معتبر شرعا every legal valid excuse. That's the meaning. كل عذر معتبر شرعا every legal valid word excuse فيه رفع الحرج المحقق that removes a verified hardship. Every legal valid excuse that removes what? A verified what? Hardship. عن الأمة. From where? From the Ummah. فإنه مبيح للجمع. It permits the combination of what? Two prayers. Every legal valid excuse that removes a verified hardship عن الأمة from the ummah فإنه مبيح للجمع permits the combining of what? Two prayers. So if there is excuse and that excuse is hardship, there is no doubt that in that excuse there is hardship undoubtedly. Do you understand? So we remove that hardship by telling the ummah to do what? To combine prayers. فهمنا؟ إذا كان هذه القاعدة this particular principle تدل على إباحة الجمع بين الصلاتين indicates the permissibility of combining what? Two prayers. إذا كان هناك عذر شرعي if there is what? Or whenever there is what? A realistic excuse يشق على الإنسان بوجوده. Please put that after the that. بوجوده يشق على الإنسان بوجوده أن يصلي كل صلاة في وقتها المحدد. Please remove that تاء المربوطة. Are we together? إذا كان عذر شرعي whenever there is a realistic excuse يشق على الإنسان بوجوده أن يصلي كل صلاة في وقتها المحدد that makes it difficult for a person to perform each prayer at each specific time. Do we understand? So it's permissible for such person to do what? To combine prayer. If there is any excuse that makes it difficult for us to perform each prayer at each specific time, we can do what? We can combine prayer. لقوله تعالى, because of the statement of Allah the Most High, وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. Allah said, Allah has not placed upon you in the religion any word difficulty. فَإِنَّا وَقَوْلُهُ, this shows that whenever there is difficulty, there will be what? There will be ease. Al-mada, al-mashaqqatu tajlibu mada? At-taysir. Whenever there is difficulty, there will be what? There will be ease. Difficulty brings about what? Ease. Because Allah said, وَمَا جَعْلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ. فإن النكرة في سياق النفي تفيد ماذا؟ العموم. وزيادة حرف جر في سياق النكرة تفيد التعقيد. This shows that there is no difficulty in the religion at all. واضح؟ وقوله and the statement of Allah وقوله and the statement of Allah the Most High وقوله يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر. Allah intends ease for you. Allah does not intend what? Difficulty. So whenever there is difficulty, there will be what? There will be ease. Do you get? ولقول ابن عباس رضي الله عنه, and also because of the statement of Abdullah ibn Abbas when he was asked that why did the Rasul combine prayers? He said, أراد أن لا يحرج أمته, because he does not want to place difficulty, hardship, burden upon who? The ummah. And so whenever there is difficulty, it must be what? It must be removed. Do we understand this qaida? Is this qaida, is this principle understood? The principle is telling us that whenever there is what? Excuse, and in that thing that we are taking as excuse now, there is a verified hardship. You understand? It is there is a certain hardship in that thing. I hope you are getting it now. And of course, hardship must be removed from where? From the ummah. So we will actually ask the Muslims to combine prayers in order to remove that hardship from them. Is it clear? There is a poto. We know poto. And the one we call what? Mud. Maybe there was rain. And from your house to the masjid, in fact, it will be difficult for you to walk. You know, it's an excuse. So in order to remove this difficulty, in Sharia says if you are already in the masjid, combine prayer. If you are not in the masjid, stay at home and pray. فهمنا؟ القاعدة العاشرة, the 10th principle, مذهب الحنفية أضيق المذاهب في سبب الجمع ووقته. The Hanafi madhab is the most narrow of all the school of thought. The Hanafi school of thought is the most narrowed of all the school of thought in terms of the reason for combining prayer and also in terms of the time for combining prayer. Why? لأن في مذهب الحنفية, because in the Hanafi school of thought, لا يجمع إلا بين الظهر والعصر. You don't combine prayer except between Zuhr and what? Asr. I hope you are getting. You can see that the time now is what? It's narrowed. Because it's only Zuhr and what? Asr. فهمنا؟ وبين يعني وماذا؟ The Arafah. Remove the lamb. The Arafah. At where? Arafah. You do that at what? Arafah. You can see that the reason for combining prayer is what? Is narrowed here. Because you don't combine prayer except at where? Arafah. وبين المغرب والعشاء, and Maghrib and Isha بالمزدلفة. At where? Muzdalifah. So the reason is narrowed. When you are in Arafah or Muzdalifah, the time also is what? Is narrowed between Maghrib and what? Isha. Between Zuhr and Asr in where? Arafah. Maghrib and Isha in where? Muzdalifah. So aside Arafah, you cannot do Maghrib and Zuhr and Asr. Aside Muzdalifah, you cannot combine what? Maghrib and Isha. That's why it is said that their own madhab is the most narrowed madhab in terms of what? The time and also the reason for combining prayer. Al-Qa'idatul Hadiya Ashara, the 11th principle, Madhab al-Shafi'iyya, أضيق المذاهب في سبب الجمع. The Shafi'i school of thought is the most narrowed school of thought in terms of the reason for combining prayer. But but the most spacious of all the school of thought in terms of what? The time for combining prayers. لأن في المذهب, because in the madhab of what? Shafi'i, لا يجمع في الحضر. You don't combine prayer as a resident. You can see that what? The reason for combining prayer is what? Is narrowed. Are we there? You don't combine prayer as a what? Resident. If you must combine prayer, you must be on journey. So whether there is rain or you are sick, as long as you are a resident, you don't combine prayer. Consider there is what? Narrowness here. Cool? They said also, لا يجمع في العذر, you don't combine prayer يعني as a resident إلا لسبب المطر فقط, except for what? For rain only. But if you are sick, there is wind, there is what? Mud, you will not combine prayer. وأباح الجمع بين الظهر والعصر, and the madhab actually permits combining Zuhr and Asr وبين المغرب والعشاء and Maghrib and Isha. So you can see that the time is spacious, but the reason is what? Is narrow. Because the only reason for combining prayer is what? Rain. While you are where? At home. Apart from if you are in Muzdalifah and Arafah. القاعدة الثانية عشرة المالكية والحنابلة. The Maliki school of thought and the Hanbali school of thought, أوسع المذاهب السبع. They are the most spacious or widest school of thought in terms of the reason for combining prayer. وأضيقها في الوقت, and they are the most narrowed school of thought in terms of what? The time. وذلك لأن في مذهب المالكية والحنابلة, that is because in the madhab of Imam Malik, in the Maliki madhab and the Hanbali madhab, يجبر في العذر, you combine prayer while at home as a resident. But بين المغرب والعشاء focus, only Maghrib and Isha. As a resident, no matter the reason, even if there is rain, you don't combine Zuhr and Asr. That's Maliki madhab and who? Hanafi madhab. Hanbali madhab يعني. لسبب المطر يجمع في الأذر بين المغرب والعشاء فقط لسبب المطر والوحل. You combine at home Maghrib and Isha only as a result of rain, as a result of mud, والريح الباردة, and also what? Cold what? Wind, والمرض, and also as a result of sickness. So you can see that in terms of the reason they are spacious, but in terms of the time now, it's only what? Maghrib and Isha, they are narrow. القاعدة الثالثة عشرة. The what? The 13th Qaida principle. أن حق الجمع is that the right of combining prayer في العذر النوعي in what? General excuse للإمام. It's for who? It's for the Imam. So don't argue with the Imam. التابع تابع. At-tabi'u tabi'un. I hope you are getting it. You just follow the imam. Whatever the imam says is what you do. If the imam says, oh, just tell me I don't feel that we should combine prayer, we don't combine. Don't complain that, why, yeah, imam, you must combine prayer. No. The Sharia has given him that power. So there is no majority carry the vote. Nobody should argue with the imam. Because the Prophet said, "Nama ju'ila al-iman liyutamma bihi." The imam is to be followed. So if he says combine prayer, we combine. If he says don't combine prayer, I don't think that this weather is suitable for us to combine prayer. We will not combine. Fahimna? So فَلَا يُشَوِّشُ عَلَيْهِ أَحَدٌ. Nobody should make noise on the imam. Nobody should disturb him. إِنْ لَمْ يَرَ الْجَمْعَ. If he did not see, if he's not of the view to join what? To combine prayer. لأنه مخير, because the imam is given the choice بين الأخذ بالرخصة, to hold on to what? Concession, أو الأخذ بالعزيمة, or to hold on to the original strict rule, which is to pray at the what? Stipulated time. Is it clear? Many people don't understand this, and that's why I see them arguing with you. The imam. إنما جعل الإمام ليتم به. القاعدة الرابعة عشرة, the 14th principle. المتوقع في الغالب ينزل منزلة الواقع. Are we together? المتوقع في الغالب ينزل منزلة الواقع. What is most likely expected? That's the meaning of المتوقع في الغالب. What is most likely what? Expected. ينزل منزلة الواقع. He's given the position of what is already happening. Are we together? What is most likely expected is given the position of what is already what? Happening. Do we understand? The scholars used to use this qaida on pregnant women. Do you understand? If a woman has entered what do you call it? Date of what? Delivery. And she sees what? Blood. That blood, the scholars will say, will consider it as what? Nifas. Because they say, al-mutawakka'u fil ghalib yunzalu manzilatu mada? Al-waqi. She's already 9 months. So what are we expecting her to do? To give birth. So we're also expecting her to pump out what? Postpartum what? Are we getting it? So some scholars also use it regarding what? Weather. They said, al-mutawakka'u fil ghalib ينزل منزلة ماذا؟ الواقع. نعم. مثلا for instance إذا ظهرت علامة المطر, if the signs of rain appear من شدة الغيم, such as heavy cloud, والريح, strong wind, ونحوهما and their like, وهو معروف بالتجربة, and it is known through experience أنه يمطر, that if the weather is like this, it will what? It will rain. بظهور هذه العلامة, it is known through experience that what? It will rain. It due to what? The sign. Due to the appearance of this sign, أبيح أن تجمع الصلاة, it becomes permissible that what? Salat should be what? Combined. I hope you understand. The Malikiya, they are of this opinion. The Malikiya Mazhab, they are of this what? Opinion. But what they said is that the person that must, it's only Malikiya that are of this opinion. Do you understand? That if the rain has not come, we are expecting the rain, we can combine prayer. But they too, they gave condition. Do you understand? If you check Asharul Kabir and Ashiyatul Dasuki, if you also check Asharul Sagir, and Samaru Dani, the show of Risala, Muqaddimatul Risala, they gave condition before we can combine prayer due to what? Weather. The Malikiya said it must be an expert. What, so somebody who knows weather is one that will tell us that with this weather it will rain. Do you understand? If it is not an expert, if it is me and you that studied something else apart from geography, Malikiya said we will not work with your statement. And what they said even if we combine the prayer and the rain did not later fall, we will repeat that prayer. Are we getting it? And we can only do that in where? In Isha. between Maghrib and what? Isha. Among all the Madhahib, none of the Madhab is of this opinion other than what? The Malikiya. And you see the condition of what? Of the Malikiya. But today, how far? How do we do? Once the weather, the cloud has formed, people start joining what? The legend of Da'ima, they gave fatwa that you don't join prayer like that. Even Sheikh Al-Husayni, Sheikh Al-Allama, Al-Mufti, the present Mufti, Al-Fawzan, he said you don't join prayer because of what? Because of the cloud. Do we understand? But we'll say, we'll follow Malikiya. Do you understand? On the permissibility that we can join the prayer. But if it is an expert that says it will rain, he knows weather very well. You know there are some people, they know weather very well. No matter how dark the weather is, they'll tell them, oh, just go and see now, it will not rain. And most of the times you see that what? It will not rain. You see the weather somehow. They have already studied it. They will tell you, this weather, look, the rain is already coming. And in most cases, you see that the rain will what? So if we have this kind of people and they testify that this rain will come, we can follow Malikiya on the permissibility, but we don't follow them on the what? On the time, because we have the opinion that what? You can combine Zuhr and Asr and what? Okay, Manisha. Is it clear? بعض المسائل التي تتعلق بالجمع بين الصلاتين. Some matters that are connected to combining what? Two prayers. Are we together? المسألة الأولى, the first matter, هل يجوز الجمع بين الصلاتين لمجرد وجود الغيب? Is it permissible to combine two prayers due to the presence of near cloudy sky? Due to the presence of near what? Cloudy sky. The sky just changed. Do you understand? And there's no certainty that it will rain. We don't have any experienced person that inform us that this thing, the way this weather is, it will rain. Just like that, because the weather has come, we say, let's combine prayer. Is it permissible? Al-Jawab. The response is لا يجوز الجمع بين الصلاتين لمجرد وجود الغيب. It is not permissible to combine two prayers due to the presence of near cloudy sky. أو مطر خفيف, or due to what? Light what? Rain. كما أشار إلى ذلك فتاوى اللجنة الدائمة للبحوث العلمية, as what? The verdict of the permanent committee for scholarly research and verdict actually what? Pointed towards that is not what? It's not permissible. If you check فتاوى اللجنة الدائمة volume 7 page 25. وكما أشار إلى عدم جواز الشيخ العلامة الفقيه العثيمين في مجموع فتاواه, and also as الشيخ العلامة الفقيه العثيمين actually pointed at its non-permissibility in its مجموع فتاوى تحت الخطبة الجمعة, under the Friday sermon التي ألقاها, which is delivered في يوم الثالث عشر on the 13th من شهر رجب of the month of Rajab سنة 12 و400 وألف من الهجرة, in the year in the what 1412 years after Hijrah. فقال العثيمين said وقد بين أهل العلم رحمهم الله. The scholars, may Allah have mercy upon them, have explained المطر الذي يبيح الجمع, the type of rain that permits what? Combining two prayers. ويحصل به في ترك الجمع مشقة, and which causes hardship if the congregation is not what? It's not combined. فقال في المغني, and Al-Imam Ibn Qudama said in Al-Mughni, if you take volume 2 page 375, he said وَالْمَطَرُ الَّذِي يُبِيحُ الْجَمْعَ, the rain that permits what? Combining two prayers, هُوَ مَا يَبُلُّ الثِّيَابِ, is that which actually was soak what? The clothes. وَتَلْحَقُ الْمَشَقَّةُ بِالْخُرُوجِ فِيهِ, and causes hardship when going out in where? In it. فَأَمَّا الطَّلُّ, as for drizzle, وَالْمَطَرُ مَاذَا الْخَفِيفِ, and light what? Rain. الَّذِي لَا يَبُلُّ الثِّيَابِ, that does not soak the clothes. فَلَا يُبِيحُ, it does not what? It does not permit the combining of two prayers. Shema, are we getting the message? وَأَمَّا الْوَحَلْ بِمُجَرَّدِهِ. As for mud on its own, only mud, no rain, no wind, only mud. فَفِيهِ خِلَافٌ. The scholars differ. بين المذاهب, يعني there is differences of opinion between what? The school of thought. وبين أصحاب الإمام and the companions of al-Imam. Who is al-Imam here? Al-Imam Ahmad. Do we understand? هل هو عذر أو لا? As to whether it is an excuse for us to combine prayer or not. If there is only what? Mud, no rain, no cold, no wind, can we combine prayer? Sheikh was sahih. Al-Uthaymeen said what is authentic أنه عذر is that what? It is what? It is an excuse. متى كانت المشقة, whenever there is what? Hardship. So if it will be difficult for us to walk in the mud to come to the masjid, it becomes what? An excuse for us to combine prayer. Now, وهنا سؤالان. Uthaymeen said here are two questions. الأول, the first one is إذا كانت السماء غائمة, if the sky is cloudy, ولم يكن مطر, and there is no rain, ولا وحل, no what? Mud, ولكن المطر متوقع, but the rain is expected, meaning the cloud has come. Go, the rain is what? We are expecting rain. The rain has not come. فهل يجوز الجمع? Is it permissible to combine prayer? Al-Jawab, Al-Uthaymeen said the response is أنه لا يجوز الجمع في هذه الحال. That it's not permissible to combine prayer in this case. لأن المتوقع غير واقع. لأن المتوقع غير ماذا؟ واقع. You can see that Uthaymeen follow other words. The remaining three madhahib. He said because what is expected has not occurred. And the reason why we can combine prayer is when there is what? Rain. The rain has not come. وَكَمْ مِنْ حَالٍ. Uthaymeen said وَكَمْ مِنْ حَالٍ, and how often يَتَوَقَّعُ النَّاسُ فِيهَا الْمَطَرِ. People expect rain. How often people expect what? Rain. لِكَثَافَةِ السَّحَابِ. Due to the thickness of the cloud. Due to the heaviness of the cloud. How often we expect rain? ثُمَّ يَتَفَرَّقُ. And then this cloud will what? Will scatter. وَلَا يُمْتِرْ. And it will not what? It will not rain. So we cannot build our judgment on what? On that. There is no certainty. Our judgment must be built upon what? Certainty. The scholars used to say that الرُّخَصُ لَا تُنَاطُ بِالشَّكِّ. الرُّخَصُ لَا تُنَاطُ بِالشَّكِّ. Concession is not actually granted based on uncertainty. So ease is not granted based on what? Uncertainty. Ease is granted based on what? Certainty. And this one there is what? Uncertainty. Asani, the second, Uthaymeen says, إذا كان مطر, if there is rain, it is raining, or we are in the masjid, ولكن شككنا هل هو مطر يبيع الجمع أو لا. But we are in doubt whether it is the type of rain that permits what? Combining two prayers or not. We are in doubt. What do we do? Well, الجواب أنه لا يجوز الجمع. Al-Uthaymeen said the response is that it's not permissible for us to combine what? Because, we say combining prayer is what? Ruksa. So this ruksa is not what? Established based on what? Doubt. There must be what? Certainty. That's the qaida. As ar-ruqasu la tunatu bish-shak. Annahu la yajuzu al-jam'. It's not permissible to combine prayer fi hadhihi al-hal in this situation. لأن الأصل وجوب فعل الصلاة في وقتها. He said because the default rule is the obligation to perform each prayer. Is to perform what? Prayer at each what time. So فلا يعدل عن الأصل. فلا يعدل عن الماذا؟ عن الأصل. One should not deviate from the default. Or فلا يعدل عن الأصل. One cannot deviate from the default إلا بيقين العذر. Except what? With certainty of the excuse. Do you understand? The excuse is what? Is certain. That's when we can now go out of the what? Of the asl. And do what? Al-Ruksa. check Majmu' Fatawa ورسائل فضيلة الشيخ محمد بن صالح العثيمين, check volume 15 page 393, you see this particular fatwa. Are we together? المسألة الثانية, the second مسألة, the second matter. سئل فضيلة الشيخ العثيمين, the eminent Sheikh Al-Uthaymin was asked, ما قولكم في من يجمع الصلاة? What is your opinion regarding someone who joins the prayer وهو مريد لسفر, while intending to travel, لكنه لم يغادر بلده, but he has not yet left his town. Ustaz, are we together? You want to travel to Kaduna, but you have not left what? You are still in Lokoja. Can you combine prayer? You want to travel to Kaduna by Zuhr, after Zuhr prayer, but you are still within Lokoja. You observe your Zuhr prayer. Can you stand up and observe your what? Asr prayer? Because you want to embark on journey. فأجاب فضيلته بقوله. His eminence actually responded, inshallah, respected ones, we are going to take your time a little bit. Please be patient with us until we finish this book before we stop this class. فهمنا هذا؟ جيد. فأجاب فضيلته بقوله. His eminence responded with his statement, لا وجه لجمع. There is no basis for joining prayer. من أراد السفر, for one who intends to travel, قبل أن يغادر البلد, before he leaves what? His town. It's not permissible for him to join prayer. اللهم إلا أن يخشى من ماذا؟ مشقة. يعني اللهم إلا أن يخشى من مشقة. The Allahumma, the only exception, إلا أن يخشى من مشقة, is if he fears what? A difficulty. إذا نزل للصلاة أثناء سفره, in stopping to pray while on what? On his journey. If he fears the car, there may be difficulty. So if I want to stop, the car might leave me. I'm not the owner of the car. I hope you are getting it. Or there is no what? The road is not secured. I hope you are getting it. So in this case, you can combine prayer. You can pray Zuhr and what? And Asr. But if not for this fear, apart from this fear, وَمَنْ جَمَعَ لِغَيْرِ هَذِهِ الْخَشْيَةِ, whoever combines prayer outside this particular word, fear, وَاسْتَدَلَّ بِحَدِيثِ ابْنِ عَبَّاسِ, and cite evidence with the hadith of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him, that Abdullah ibn Abbas said the Prophet joined prayer without any reason. So Sheikh said, فَقَدْ أَبْعَدَ النُّجْعَةَ, such person has surely gone far astray from the correct interpretation of the hadith. لأن ابن عباس, because Ibn Abbas, حين, please put two dots under that year, حين سئل, when he was asked, لما صنع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذلك, why did the Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم did that? Why did the Rasul combine prayer? قال, he said, أراد ألا يحرج أمته. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم combined prayer for a reason. What's the reason? He does not want to place burden and difficulty upon who? His ummah. Jamlaa, we get it. Check Majmu' Fatawa ورسائل فضيلة الشيخ محمد بن صالح العثيمين, volume 15 page 297, you will see this paragraph fatwa. المسألة الثالثة, the third matter. سئل فضيلة الشيخ العثيمين, the eminent Sheikh Al-Uthaymin was asked, إذا جئت وقد فرغ الإمام من الجمع بين العشاءين, if I arrive at the masjid وقد فرغ الإمام من الجمع بين العشاءين, and the Imam has already finished combining the two evening prayers. Which one are the two evening prayers? Maghrib and what? Isha. فهل لي أن أجمع منفردا? Is it permissible for me to combine prayer alone? He came to the masjid. The Imam has already combined Maghrib and what? Isha. He didn't miss any rakah. Is it permissible now for him to combine prayer alone as he is already in the masjid? وَأَجَابَ فَضِيلَتُهُ بِقَوْلِهِ. Sheikh Al-Allama Al-Uthaymin responded with his expression, with his statement, إِن كُنْتَ تَظُنُّ أَنَّكَ تَجِدُ مَسْجِدًا قَرِيبًا. If you think you can find مَسْجِدًا قَرِيبًا, a nearby masjid, minka, a nearby masjid to you. وَلَمْ يَجْمَعْ, and that masjid has not yet combined what? Prayer. فَلَا تَجْمَعْ. You don't combine what? You don't combine your prayer. What do? Go to the masjid and pray. But وَإِن كُنْتَ لَا تَظُنُّ ذَلِكَ, but if you do not think so, فَإِنْ حَضَرَ جَمَاعَةٌ وَصَلَّيْتُمْ جَمِيعًا, if a group of people arrive where? At the masjid, and you pray together, فَلَا بَأْسَ بِالْجَمْعِ, there is no harm in combining what? Prayer. Are we together? Now, the Imam have combined their prayers. Nobody is in the masjid, you are the only one in the masjid. You are contemplating, should I pray or I should go back home and pray? As you are contemplating, some group of people came. You can combine your own Maghrib and what? And Isha. Fine. But وَإِنَّ يَحْضُرْ جَمَاعَةٌ, Al-Uthaymeen said, but if no group of people arrive at the masjid, فَالْأَظْهَرِ, the most apparent view, عَدَمُ جَوَازِ ذَلِكَ, is the non-permissibility of what? Combining prayers. لِأَنَّ الْجَمْعَ حِينَئِذٍ لَا فَائِدَةَ مِنْهُ. This is because there is no benefit in combining prayer at that what? At that time. فَإِنَّكَ سَوْفَ تَرْجُعُ إِلَى بَيْتِكَ, because you go back to your house, وَلَا تَخْرُجْ مِنْهُ, and you not leave your house again. So why do you want to combine prayer? And they have already combined prayer in the masjid. If you go back home now, will you come back again for Isha? No, so go back and enjoy your prayer at where? Pray your Maghrib and go back and pray your Isha at home. وَالْجَمْعُ إِنَّمَا أُبِيحَ لِلْآجَةِ, combining prayer is only made lawful or permissible for a need. What's that need? Difficulty. Do you understand? That's number one. Then number two, uzur naw'i, is to do what? To preserve what? Jamlaa. And now the Jamlaa has already taken place. So what do? Just go back home. Fahimna? وفي مثل هذه الصورة, and in the light of this scenario, لا حاجة, there is no need to combine prayer. بخلاف ما لو حضر جماعة. This is in contrast to if there were what? Jamlaa, yani group of people in the masjid, and you combine prayer with them. فإن في الجمع فائدة, there is a benefit in congregation. وهو هذا. So there is a benefit in combining prayer in this particular case. وَهُوَ أُصُولُ الْجَمَاعَةِ, which is what? Achieving what? The congregation. I hope you understand. But if there is no Jama'ah, why are you going to combine prayer? And we are to combine prayer for Udhur al-Naw'i because of what? Jama'ah. And now the Jama'ah has already taken place. So what do? Just go back home. There is no any mashakka on you again. Because you are not charged to come back to where? To the masjid again. Even if the udhur, even if the excuse has gone, you are not charged to come back to the masjid again to observe prayer, because the prayer is already what? Observed in the masjid. Check Majmu' Wallahu A'lam, Uthaymeen said Allah knows best. Check Majmu' Fatawa wa Rasail Fadhilat الشيخ محمد بن صالح العثيمين, volume 15, page 409. Al-Mas'alatu Rabi'ah, the fourth word, matter. هل يؤذن للصلاة الثانية عند الجمع؟ Is adhan made for the second word prayer during what? Combination. Now the Malikiya will tell you that you should make, no matter it, just make it small. Do you understand? When I was in Kaduna, the place I was staying, when they combined, and he wanted to combine prayer, and the owner of the masjid said they should call to adhan. So the muazzin now asked me that, are we supposed to call to adhan? I said no. There's no, what evidence establishes that you don't call to adhan? I brought the hadith of Imam Muslim, and the owner of the masjid said they used to do it. Khalas, I just left him. I didn't say anything again. For him now. So what I want us to understand is that people used to what? They will tell you that you should not use speaker. Just call it to the hearing of the people in the West, in the masjid. But they are forgetting that we don't call to prayer until the time of what? Al-Jawab yu'azzanu adhanan wahidan. Well, so the response is that one adhan is made, الصلاتين, for the two words, prayer. وَيُقِيمُ إِقَامَتَيْن, and two iqama are made for the two words, وَيُقِيمُ إِقَامَةً and 2 iqama are made لِكُلِّ وَاحِدَةٍ iqama for each, 1 iqama for each word, for each of the prayer. لِمَا ثَبَتَ عَنِ النَّبِي صلى الله عليه وسلم في صحيح Muslim, because of what is affirmed from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم in Sahih Muslim, في صفة حجته. Please put towel before the heart. Regarding what? The description of his Hajj. من حديث صلى الله عليه وسلم من حديث جابر, from the hadith of Jabir, قال رسل ثم أذن, then he gave the hadam. ثم أقام, and then he did what? إقامة فصلى and prayed. الظهر, prayed Zuhr. ثم أقام, and then he gave the إقامة again. فصلى العصر and prayed what? فصلى, please attach to that word, lam. فصلى العصر. ولم يصلي, remove that ya. ولم يصلي بينهما شيئا, and he did not pray anything between them. So we can hold this now as an evidence that what? You do 2 iqama and 1 word, adhan, and also you don't do nafila between them, because Jabir said the Prophet did not do anything between what? The 2 prayers that are combined. Waqala, and he said, so it's a lengthy hadith, he said, Hatta asal Muzdalifa, until he reached what? Muzdalifa. فَصَلَّى بِهَا الْمَغْرِبَ وَالْعِشَاء, where he prayed Maghrib and Isha. بِأَذَانٍ وَاحِدٍ, with what? 1 adhan, وَإِقَامَتَيْنِ, and 2 what? إِقَامَة. وَلَمْ يُسَبِّحْ بَيْنَهُمَا شَيْئًا, and he did not offer any voluntary word, prayer between them. يُسَبِّحْ, التسبيح here means what? Nafila prayer. فهمنا? So the reference is that you don't do what? You don't do nafila, and also it is 1 word, adhan, 2 iqama. فهمنا هذا؟ المسألة الخامسة, the 5th مسألة. سئل الشيخ مشهور ابن حسن. الشيخ مشهور ابن Hassan is among the students of the Sheikh Al-Albani, but the scholars have talked against his manhaj, so we need to be very careful. May Allah continue to guide us. He was asked that شخص دخل المسجد لصلاة المغرب, a person enters the masjid for Maghrib prayer. He enters the masjid to observe what? فوجد المؤذن يقيم الصلاة العشاء, and he finds the muazzin calling to what? The iqama of Isha prayer. What to them, they are prayed what? Maghrib. Fatahul Maghrib, he has missed Maghrib. Maghrib has what? Has passed him. In the Jam'i, during what? Congregation. So what is he going to do? فَأَجَابَ الشيخ بِقَوْلِهِ, Sheikh Mashhur actually responded with his statement, Lafi, it is a subtle matter, meaning it is a delicate matter. إِنسَانٌ دَخَلَ, a person enters the masjid, وَالْمُقِيمُ يُقِيمُ لِصَلَاةِ الْعِشَاء, while the muazzin is what? Was to call him to the iqama of Isha prayer. وَالْإِمَامُ جَمَعَ بَيْنَ الْمَغْرِبِ وَالْإِشَاء, and the imam is combining what? Maghrib and what? Isha. He has already done the Maghrib. He's doing what? Mother asked now, what is he going to do? Sheikh said, Al-Mas'alatu murakkabatun min furu'in. This matter is composed of what? Several branches. Al-Faru al-Awwal, the first branch, is ikhtilafu niyyati anil imam al-ma'mum. Difference of intention of the imam, from that of who? The ma'mum. The imam is praying, the ma'mum is praying. Is it permissible for us to have such intention? هل يجوز أن تختلف نية الإمام عن المأموم? Is it permissible for the imam's intention to differ from that of the ma'mum? Now, al-Raja, Sheikh said, what the scholars discuss this, but al-Raja, what is most correct now is that yes, it's permissible. What's the evidence? It's Salatul Khawf, Dalil. The prayer of fear is an evidence. We know the prayer of fear. Cool? وَصَنِيعُ مُعَادٍ, and the action of Mu'ad. لما كان يصلي خلف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, when he used to pray behind the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, Isha prayer, can I go? وَيَأُمُّ النَّاسِ, and go back to his people and lead them. Dalilun. It's also what? An evidence that the intention of the Imam can be different from that of what? The follower. So if we have established this, Sheikh said, for إذن يجوز للداخل الصل. It is permissible for the one who just entered the masjid and you يصلي المغرب to pray what? Maghrib. والإمام يصلي العشاء while the imam is praying what? Isha. Do you understand? So now, he has started the maghrib behind the imam that is praying Isha. فَمَاذَا يَصْنَعُ الْآنَ? What should he do during this prayer? What is he going to do during this prayer? Because me and you know that Isha is 4 rakat. And we also know that Maghrib is what? So, there will be contradiction. Is it like make salam before the imam? Or he stands while the imam is what? He's sitting. Sheikh Sallahu fi Salisa. He has the license in the 3rd rakah and yufariqahu to detach himself from the imam. Are we getting it? He said, كما ثبت في البخاري, as it is affirmed in Sahih Bukhari, لما صلى معاذ, when Mu'adh actually led prayer, وقد أطال, and he prolonged it, ففارقه بعض الناس, a man behind him actually what? Detached from him, left him. فإذا جازت المفارقة بالنص الشرعي, if it is permissible by Sharialistic text to detach yourself from the Imam, وأقر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المفارقة, and the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم what? Actually, affirmed that word, detachment. Because when they went to report to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet didn't blame the man, he didn't scold the man. That why did you leave prayer? Why did you leave the Imam? So they said, this is a silent approval, that you can detach yourself from where? From the Imam. Sheikh said, for your juzul mufaraqatu. As such, it is permissible to detach yourself from where? From the Imam. So فَأَنْتَ الْآنْ مَطْلُوبٌ مِنْكَ أَنْ تُصَلِّيَ ثَلَاثًا. Please cancel that ta'ul marbuta. فَأَنْتَ الْآنَ مَطْلُوبٌ مِنْكَ أَنْ تُصَلِّيَ ثَلَاثَ رَكَعَاتٍ. Now, it is required from you to observe how many rak'ah? 3 rak'ah, because it's Maghrib that you are doing it. Cool? Why the Imam is doing what? So إذا أردت الجمع, if you want to combine prayer, if you want to attend what? The Jamu. تفارق الإمامة, detach yourself from the Imam in the 3rd rakah. وتسلم على رأس الثالثة, detach yourself from the Imam and say salam at the end of what? The 3rd rakah. When the Imam rises to bring the 4th rakah, you sit down, say your tashahhud. Do you understand? And then terminate your prayer. If you terminate your prayer, you stand up again and join what? Join the Imam. ثم تصلي العشاء, and then pray Isha. فإن أدركت الركعة, if you actually what? Meet what? The rak'ah, meaning that particular rak'ah. Meaning at the time you make salam, the Imam has not gone to ruku, or if in ruku he has not stand up, he has not rise from the ruku. Do you understand? If you have met what? The rak'ah. Kumta, you stand up after the salam of the Imam. Wa atayta bi salati rak'atin, and you bring what? 3 rak'ah to complete your own word for Isha rak'ah. Wala haraja fi dhalika. Wala haraj fi dhalika. There is no harm in that. Fahimna? This is one. Walaka in arata, you also have the license if you want Allah Tajma not to do Jamu with the Imam. You don't want to do Jamu. You want to just pray what? Maghrib. Then when you finish your Maghrib, maybe you go back home because you did not miss the Jamu. Or when you finish your Maghrib, another Jama'ah came in, you want to observe your Jamu Isha with another Jama'ah. Tufariku ala rasi salisa, you detach yourself from the Imam at the end of what? The 3rd rakah. وتبقى جالسا, you remain sitting. وتنتظر تسليمه, waiting for what? The taslim of who? The Imam. You remain sitting while the Imam is standing. You wait for him until he finish what? His 4th rakah. You know he's going to sit down for tashahhud. So while he's doing his tashahhud, you too, you will do your own. Do you understand? وتسلم بسلامه, and you say salam with the salam of who? The Imam. فَلَكَ هَذَا وَلَكَ هَذَا. You can do this, you can also do that. وَالْأَمْرُ فِيهِ سَعَةٌ. There is spaciousness in this matter, inshallah ta'ala, if Allah ta'ala wills. Do you understand? But they tell me, I'm not comfortable with this particular view. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَا تَخْتَلِفُوا فَتَخْتَلِفَ مَاذَا؟ قُلُوبُكُمْ. He said, don't contradict the Imam. And the scholars explain the meaning of what? Contradicting the Imam. The Imam should not be standing while you are what? You are sitting. the imam should not be sitting while you are what? Standing. You don't make salam, you don't leave prayer before what? Before the what? The imam. But if you follow this qaida, you see that you have left prayer before what? But they can still bring the evidence of Salatul Mada al-Khawf. But we say that one is Salatul Khawf. I hope you are getting it. And the format of Salatul Khawf is different from what? This is our own what? Prayer. Because what is better is that the person should pray his Maghrib alone. Do you understand? I'm more comfortable that the person should look for a way, pray his Maghrib alone. If you are able to meet Isha with Imam Labas. I didn't mean the Raka is the same. There is no problem. But the Raka is not the same. The Raka'at, they are not the same. Maghrib is 3 Raka, Isha is what? Is 4 Raka. And if you look at Mu'adh ibn Jabal, what are they doing? Is there differences of Raka? You know, he prays 4 Raka with the Imam. And he will come back again and lead his people how many Raka? Is it 3? Is it 9? How many Raka? 4. Can see that there is what? Balance, yes. The equation is balanced. Do you understand? But if you choose this particular opinion, there's no problem. You have your evidence. You also have what? Scholars actually what? Supporting you. May Allah continue to guide us. With this, we are able to complete this particular book. Out of the infinite mercy of Allah, we had 8 sections in the durus of this particular book. We pray that all that we have said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless it. Wherever we have erred, may Allah forgive me, and may He remove them from your minds. Whatever we have said that is correct, may Allah make it easy for us to implement, and may He reward all of us abundantly. هذا والله الموفق والهادي إلى سواء السبيل وصلى اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا وقدوتنا وسراج المنير محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.